Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum. Improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Well, today on Our Region's Business, we're back at Bakery Square in Pittsburgh's East End. This redevelopment in a former Nabisco bakery has attracted international attention ever since Google set up shop here. And there's more to come. Bakery Square 2.0 is beginning construction right across Penn Avenue. We'll hear more about what's in store across the street. But first, a technology center right here at Bakery Square that's making life easier for people with disabilities and pretty much everybody who's aging. It's literally called the Quality of Life Technology Center, a partnership of Carnegie Mellon University and the University of Pittsburgh. Dr. Rory Cooper is back with us. He's co-director of the center from the University of Pittsburgh. And Don Siewiorek is director of the center. He's with Carnegie Mellon. And welcome. Good to see you both.
Good to be back.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were actually the first tenant here at Bakery Square, correct?
Yes. Either I was crazy enough or I was able to see the vision that Trog Reibold and Greg Perlman had, and it's actually turned out to be just a wonderful place to work. To see this whole region redeveloped, this whole area of the city. And it's turned out to be a great space for us. And it's nice to be in an old historic building. And now we're making cutting edge technology for people with disabilities and older adults.
Yeah, and for folks who are not familiar with the Quality of Life Technology Center, this is unusual in a lot of respects in that it is a joint effort between the universities. So how would you describe what its purpose is?
Well, the idea is to help people who have disabilities or aging live independently longer. Actually, there's a big economic boost out of this, because if we can keep people living independently on average 1 month longer per year, it's over $1 billion that could be saved in the medical system.
On average, a 1 month improvement in independence.
Yes.
So that's great. A lot of this funded by the federal government?
Yes, yeah, it's funded by the federal government and some industry partners as well. Our primary sponsor currently is the National Science Foundation through the Engineering Research Center program, which is sort of the plum of the engineering grants, as well as local companies, new startup companies, some large multinational companies as well.
Very cool. So what's the Carnegie Mellon piece of this, and what's the Pitt piece of this?
Well, Carnegie Mellon, as you know, has a long history in robotics, autonomous vehicles. So one of the projects we have is virtual valet, so that a car can just go find its own parking place, and much like in the Old West, you whistle and the car comes back. But that could be used for everybody, particularly in this region, finding a parking place. But there's robotics technology, there's also human-computer interaction, which involves social science, computer science, and fine arts. How do we interact with the technology? Because a lot of technology is abandoned very quickly because it's tedious, it nags you. It's not fun. So how do you make things fun? How do you engage people? So we also bring that, plus the basic engineering, machine learning technologies, mobile computing, smartphones, wireless. All those things go into these new facilities that help people do what they want to do.
Pretty remarkable. This is kind of the clinical side too over here, actually figuring out how you put people.
The clinical expertise, the knowledge of the end user, working with older adults, people with disabilities, designed for people with disabilities and older adults. And then, we've got people who are both clinically engaged as well as technically engaged. And so it forms a nice bridge between Carnegie Mellon and the University of Pittsburgh. It's a really natural alliance in our expertise. That meshes very well, and I think it shows in our success. And devices, you could just see the devices in the background. None of those existed before the center, and they're all collaborative efforts between Carnegie Mellon and the University of Pittsburgh. The other exciting thing is it really draws excellent students to Carnegie Mellon, University of Pittsburgh. Not that we really had a problem with that before, but there's a genuine interest, I think, among young people today to pursue a profession that helps people, but it has real business opportunities. And so this marriage between technology and helping people is exciting for engineers. And what's I think also very interesting is it draws more women, people with disabilities, and minorities, and veterans to the field because they have a real strong sense of service.
And I would imagine veterans too become, you know, especially injured, wounded warriors become a real potential market for a lot of these technologies.
Well, not only a potential market, which is exciting, but we actually got NSF to start collecting statistics on people with disabilities as part of their minority groups in order to encourage all of their NSF grantees to train more people with disabilities. And Wounded Warriors were a part of that leadership. So we got a pilot grant from NSF 2 years ago to incorporate training of Wounded Warriors to not only use the technology, but to develop the new technology. And the first of its kind in the United States. And they just renewed us for 3 more years. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to be having a leadership panel for the government, industry, and academia funded by NSF and the Association for Engineering Education, ASEE, to how to see how we can roll this out nationwide.
Now, this whole facility and what's happening really is a marriage of everything kind of our region does best, right? It's kind of healthcare, it's service, it's digital sciences.
Well, in addition to that, we live in the second oldest county in the country and second oldest state. So we see it right with us every day. And matter of fact, it's not just the people with, who are aging or with disabilities, but it's the caregivers. And very often the caregivers wear out as they take care of themselves as well as the people that they love. And so we can't keep going this way as the population gets older in larger numbers. So we need some type of technology assisted. And of course, people want to live in their own home. They want to live independently. They want to live with all the social network that they are used to, as opposed to going into something that's more like an institution.
And so this makes that possible. When we come back, we want to find out a little bit about some specific examples of what's getting out of the lab and maybe into people's homes and actually helping folks. So we'll be back to find out a little bit more about the quality of life innovations here that are turning into commercial products. Stay with us.